This is one of our problems, I guess you could call it, on YouTube. And he often is calling me a junkie. I've had 5 years sober, 4 years without medically assisted treatment. I could literally pass a drug test right now. I do not have money to spend on a drug test that you guys wouldn't believe me anyways if it came up clean. So I'm not going to be doing that. If anyone, a doctor that, if it comes down to it and someone needs to take a urine analysis from me, I'd be more than glad to do it. But I'm not doing it for the internet because you guys are not going to believe me anyways. So, let's see. I just wanted to clear up this video that I made from earlier. I don't think that every police officer is corrupt. I do not think that every government official is corrupt. But to say that there are no corrupted government officials would be weird. Everybody has an opportunity to be corrupted at one point or another. Everybody can either make a good decision or a bad decision, and it doesn't matter if you work for the government or if you're just a regular human being. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's a little more serious when you're a police officer because your job that taxpayers pay you to do is to keep people safe and to be trained to not make those mistakes. So I'm not saying that the police officer that gave Nick the advice about all this internet comings and goings on YouTube, I'm not saying that he's corrupted. I'm just saying that he gave in my personal opinion, he gave really bad advice to my husband, and he was not helpful because of that bad advice. And that maybe Nick should go back and talk to a different police officer who can lead him in the right direction, because there have been a lot of police officers. Not a lot, but there's been at least one police officer from the department that we went to today who gave Nick good advice. And there's been sheriffs who have given Nick good advice. And they seem like they did care, and they seem like they had, the best intentions at heart. But I just feel maybe Officer Martinez was having a bad day. Maybe he was tired. Maybe something else was going on where he didn't understand the whole situation. Maybe he didn't understand the severity of it. Maybe it's hard to understand the severity of it unless you're, in the middle of it. I don't know what the situation was. All I know is that it wasn't good advice. It just felt like it was wrong to tell someone, who's coming to your department for help with internet stalking, when I've seen plenty of online stalker videos on YouTube, and had the FBI, tries to train police officers on how to deal with victims of online stalking, and it just seemed like completely backwards of what Officer Martinez told my husband. And it's just sad, it's just sad because I want to have faith in the police department, but then Officer Martinez tells my husband to either play along or get off the internet, and that it's like a football game, and if you're not strong enough to play, then don't play. And it's not a game. We came to the police station because we needed help, not because we wanted to play football. It seems very weird to me. I'm not a snitch. I'm not. I just don't understand why a officer of the law at his place of work on duty would tell my husband to play along with stalkers and people who are actively not respecting no contact orders, not respecting privacy, when it comes down to, swatting and making stories up, and that stuff is illegal. You can't threaten to call Child Protective Services on someone for legitimately a made-up story. It's all a bunch of crap. It's not funny. It's not exciting. Unless that person is on the other side of it and they know exactly what they're doing. So, I don't know how anything I say could be construed as a snitch or anything like that unless, unless, God forbid, a police officer maybe isn't trying to help us purposefully. But I really am praying that is not it. I'm going to just go with that the police are good and they want to help us and they want to keep us safe, because that's all I can believe in, because to believe in anything else it feels wrong. So I'm not going to judge this police officer. All I'm saying is that I wish he could have explained to my husband in a different way how to handle our situation that we're dealing with, because it's not funny to threaten to call CPS. If CPS wanted to come to our house, if our neighbors or our family members or anybody really had a reason to call CPS, I would invite them in just fine. That's not the problem. The problem is they don't need to be here. And that is a SWAT. That is swatting somebody. And it causes trauma on kids who don't need people inspecting them, it's just not right. There's no reason to waste their time. There are kids out there that are starving and that are being neglected. My kids are very well taken care of. It's not an issue. I don't know what to say. There's nothing going on here, and to make something up like that is tragic. For your own personal gain, it's just not cool. It's illegal. It's a federal offense. You can't swat people just because you're mad about something. It's not a game, dude. I'm not snitching. You want me to just roll over and take it, and that's not playing fair. If you think that I should be comparing this to a game, then you're cheating and you're not playing fair and you're abusing your power, and that's not how you play games. That's just not how games are played. You don't go steal money out of the Monopoly bank, okay? You have to earn it by being smart. You can't just go taking pink 50s out of the fucking Monopoly bank. That's not how that works. There are rules to the game, and you can't just go around cheating because you think that you're higher up on the scale than somebody who's not in the same position as you. If it is a game, right? If it actually is a game, there are rules to every game. And if you break the rules, you shouldn't go around sulking if you get caught and calling people a snitch and trying to get them hurt. So that's my opinion on the video, mocking my video. I do not think all government officials are corrupted. I don't know if any government officials are corrupted. I do believe that Officer Martinez gave my husband really bad advice. Personally, coming from a background of my dad was a lawyer, a criminal justice lawyer, went to law school at Syracuse Law. There are rules and there are laws, and you can't just go around breaking them and get mad when somebody calls you out about it. You can't go around giving bad advice to somebody that you're supposed to be protecting. That is, you're supposed to protect people from criminals. You're not supposed to play games with them when someone's coming to you for help at your job on duty. That is ridiculous. We didn't ask to play a game. We wanted to make a channel. We wanted to have a spot on YouTube. We wanted to do rock tumbling. We wanted to do hiking. We wanted to do cooking. We wanted to do family-friendly stuff. Nick had different channels. He had a news current event channel, and then he had a family channel. And then I started making a channel to venture on YouTube, and I found a recovery community, which was awful to me. Horrible. Just hated me for no freaking reason, said I was a troll just because my husband said something. I don't even remember what happened anymore. She hated me, still hates me, brings me back just to torture me and take away, is nice to me, and then says I did something when I didn't, blocks me, makes me into a demon again to everybody. I get trolled all over again. It's ridiculous. I'm not fighting with anybody. I'm not playing a game with anybody. You can go and do that on your own time. If you're bored with your life, why don't you try Monopoly? Okay? Why don't you and your little friends and your family play Monopoly with each other, and you can steal and break all the rules from each other, but don't drag people that you've never even met, who don't even know what game you're freaking playing, into your problems. Honestly, really, because I'm over it. I'm not a snitch. I want to be left alone. It's not fair. Stop giving bad advice to people who want help.